Everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns and GetFitOver40.com. Kind of doing another little update video. Thought I'd do it for both channels because I've got these electric unicycles called EUCs, and I've been putting them mainly in my Get Fit Over 40 channel because it's kind of that channel I do more personal stuff. You know, I show obviously stuff that isn't really gun related there. These guys aren't gun related, but they're very cool. And I think people that enjoy air guns and stuff might enjoy, you know, knowing about these guys, these electric unicycles. Something I've recently got into just before the heart thing that happened. And so this is a bit of an update to let everybody know, at least on the Replica Airgun side, how I'm doing. Well, I'm back to riding. So that's good because I wasn't sure, you know, if I could and stuff and if I'd remember how to ride because I hadn't really been riding for very long before I went in for the heart issue, for the heart valve repair and replacement. So, you know, I wasn't sure. Could I get on this thing? Is it even a good idea to get on one of these guys? And I kind of bit the bullet. I hopped on my Begode EXN and it came right back to me pretty quick. I'm being careful, obviously not going super fast. But I did want to talk about these two units that I have here. I'm not keeping them both, but I want to kind of talk about why I have two of them. And just let everybody know that I'm doing well enough that I can ride these things. And it was important to me when all of this was going on. I was thinking, man, I just got my EXN and I wasn't even sure if I'd be able to ride it or any of that kind of stuff, if I'd be able to, like if I'd have enough, you know, health to do it. And as it turns out, everything's fine. I got to be a little bit careful, obviously, especially because I'm still healing. The sternum is still healing. But okay, so why do I have two? Let's get into that. So this is my Begode EXN, and I had another one before this. I had a Tesla T3, and it was another Begode ECU, or EUC, electric unicycle. Sorry, I say ECU, it's EUC. And this one is just, I got a good deal. The other one was quite a bit smaller. You may have, if you've been on my Get Fit Over 40 channel, you've probably seen it. I started out just, you know, learning on that one. It was a perfect learner one because it's lighter, you know, not as intimidating, much easier to ride than these bigger ones that are faster and heavier. But they are limited to speed and range when they're smaller. So I ultimately wanted something a little faster and with better range. And so when I saw this one, it had all the basically upgrades you can imagine to it. With all the bumpers, it's got the seat that was an add-on that's also a trolley handle. It's got the extra battery in it to give it more range. You know, it's got a ton of stuff, the pedals, the lightweight pedals. It's got all these pads for your legs that lock you in. So it had everything that I really wanted, and I got a screaming deal on it, so I bought it. And it's been good. The only downside to this, is a little bit the weight and the fact that it doesn't have suspension. Because even on the road, you might think you don't need suspension on the road, but when you're going 50 to 60 kilometers an hour on the road and you hit a pothole, even a little one or a bump or some sort of weird, you know, some sort of weird lump or crack in the road, you're going to feel it and it can throw you off these things if you're not ready for it. So for safety reasons, even for the road, I really ultimately wanted to get an EUC with suspension. Now, you know, there's always pros and cons to everything. So if you want range, you have to have more batteries, which add weight. So unless you're riding a long range all the time, and you're just carrying batteries around in some situations when you don't need them. So do you really need to have extreme amounts of battery longevity? Like this one has 3,100 watt hours of battery. That'll take me well over 100 kilometers. You know, 100 to 150 kilometers. If I go a little easier, I can get more range. If I'm riding like a crazy person, then you get less range. But, you know, you've always got the weight of the extra batteries in here, whether you use them or not, and there's no suspension on this one. So ultimately, I wanted suspension. Which brings us to the KingSong, if I can put this back here, which brings us to the KingSong S22. And so this came up on Facebook Marketplace, same as the Begode EXN. Both of these I bought off of Facebook Marketplace. And this guy is a really cool unit. The thing that I really like about it is that it has one of the best suspensions out there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a spring suspension, almost like a major, like something you'd find on a mountain bike with the dampener and all of that stuff. You can dampen it and adjust compression and dampening and adjust the spring tension. Very cool. This one, now it's a little lighter than the Begode, mainly because it has less battery storage. So it's 2,200 watt hours as opposed to 3,100 watt hours. This one has a little bit more powerful motor and can go a little faster, around 70 kilometers plus, so 70 to 75 kilometers an hour, which is way faster than I need to go. The EXN, the Begode EXN, tops out around 65, can maybe push it to 70. It has a 2,800 watt motor. This has a 3,300 watt motor. So both of them have 20-inch wheels, so they're both roughly the same size. But the S22, KingSong S22 is a bit lighter, so when I pick it up, you know, it definitely feels lighter to me. Let me just pick it up from here. Oops, got to pick it up from here. It definitely feels lighter than the EXN by maybe as much as 10 pounds. I might be being a little bit high there, but 5 to 10 pounds for sure. And it does make a difference when you're riding it. But that shock that it has, which has got like something like 6 inches of travel, is amazing, and it just takes out all the bumps, especially on the road. It just takes out all those little bumps. And if I do take it off-roading, you can literally, you know, I've seen guys on videos jumping off of picnic tables onto concrete with these guys, and it just absorbs it like crazy. So, you know, they both have their pros and their cons, but for me, having this shock in it is going to be a safety factor, which will mean it's going to absorb a lot more bumps, and I'm going to have less likelihood of getting thrown off this thing, especially if I'm doing 50 to 60 kilometers an hour on a road and I hit something that I'm not expecting. The Begode EXN, you'll feel it so much more. There's, you know, you get a lot more bounce with the tire. You kind of, you know, you'd have to run a lower, like a lower pressure in your tire just to take out some of the bounciness, but then you can compromise the rim that way. You can run a higher tire pressure on here because it's got the spring and dampening system in it. So yeah, this is a new hobby. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. It's something that when I went in the hospital that I was like, it was the thing that kept me, I'm not going to say it kept me alive. I'm not going to go that far, but just the idea of getting back on this thing and riding it again was something that just kept me focused on the goal of, I'll get through this. I'm not going to be in this bed forever. I'm not going to be stuck in this bed. One day I'll be out riding my electric unicycle again, and that's what I was focusing on. Obviously, there's other things, you know, getting back home to the family, those things, super important, but this was definitely one of those things that really, I just put my mind on. I said, I'm going to get back to this. This is something that I really enjoy, that when I can eventually do it again will mean that I'm getting back to my life, maybe then some that I had before. And it's happening, and I've been out riding, and it's been a lot of fun, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. All right, so this one will be up for sale, obviously. I'm going to keep the KingSong S22, the Begode EXN is going to go up for sale. It's basically got every single mod you can imagine. So it's the price I have on Facebook Marketplace here in the Vancouver area, Fraser Valley area, is very good. So you can find it there. If you do a search for the EXN Begode, you'll find it, as long as it's still for sale if you're interested in it. It's a great wheel, don't get me wrong. I just really wanted suspension again. Not that I do a ton of off-roading, but it'll be better off-roading, obviously, when you hit roots and things, but it also is going to give me that safety factor when I'm on the road of absorbing the bumps and not throwing me off and me landing on my face. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching another Replica Airguns video and Get Fit Over 40 video combined. That's it. In terms of my health and everything, things are going great. Obviously, I wouldn't be riding these. As you notice on Replica Airguns, has been making tons of videos, or lots of videos just like before, reviews, tabletops, field test shooting videos, all that. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on all the different, you know, communities, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And go to both web pages, so replicairguns.com, getfitover40.com, where I have my blogs, and I usually put posts, reviews, and all that stuff, and updates and everything in those locations. Again, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.